second week of President Tinubu's swearing in and being in office, and Nadeko had said to him, congratulations, you were one of those who fought for the return of Nigeria to civilian rule, and now you need to focus on a few things. They highlighted to him what he needs to focus on. But from your own point of view, Senator, how would you assess President Tinubu in these 2 weeks?
Thank you for having me. Well, first of all, I can see that he has started on a good footing, in the sense that he has proven to be a president, first of all, that is accessible and that also gives a listening ear to people. And from what we can see from a distance, people are trooping to the villa and consulting individuals and groups on what should be the way forward for the country. I think we are starting right for now. Yes.
For now?
Yes.
It might be too early. Because I remember, no, I'm saying for now, and we have to be optimistic. We cannot be pessimistic. And we've got to have the positive mind so that we can help him. He's the one single man at the end of affairs, but he cannot do it all. I mean, Nigeria is for everyone anyways, but then if he needs to function well, he needs to get it right. And he needs all the support, isn't it? I mean, although there are those who have political differences and they've gone to court to exercise their differences, but then what would you be saying to a President Tinubu today about what he needs to watch out for?
Well, like I've said, I'm satisfied with the level of consultation which I've seen for now. When I say for now, I mean what will become of the kind of counseling, advice and suggestion he gets, and how does he apply it in the next step of his government will determine whether that consultations it was useful or not. But the first thing President Tinubu has to do is to get people that are competent and capable to man the position of authority as he pilot the ship of state to the future. He also needs to set an immediate priority of what he needs to address. And as far as Nigeria is concerned, the first is security and the second is economy. And you can also say economy and security, but these two are very important. And taking lessons from what has happened in the last 8 years, if you talk about economy, you need to get people who are well versed on the economy, people who have the experience, the ideas, and the vision that will do things differently and that will help his government succeed and help the country succeed. In the past, we have an economic team, an economic council, and nobody has of them, and nobody knows what they are doing, and nobody can pinpoint this is what they have done. This has to be done differently. And on security, we have seen what has happened to this country in the last 10 years, 1 decade. Terrorism, banditry, secessionist agitation, herdsmen, farmers' crisis, bloodsheds and conflicts in almost all the 6 geopolitical zones. So now having security chiefs, security advisors, security headsmen who have the requisite knowledge, experience, and whose counseling and action will apply in solving our security challenges, I think is very necessary. And it has to do with the leadership structure, of the architectural structure of Nigeria. Who are going to lead as service chiefs? Who is going to be the national security advisor? Who are going to head all the various security agencies in the country? What will happen to the police? Who is going to head the police? These are very important. The goals he has set for himself can only be achieved if you have people who are, first of all, experienced, and second, they will work in tandem with his own vision. So this is very
important. He gave a warning, though, in that area of security, and I'm going to come to economy. He said he doesn't want disharmony, and he wants coordination. This has been a major problem with our security structure in this country, where even in the security sector, they will tell you that there's a lack of coordination. They're not sharing intel within themselves. And the kind of persons that advices that the president listens to is perhaps the closest will be the NSA, who advises him on the issue of security. I've heard a lot of people speak about who should he be, what kind of person should he be, and we are hearing some names. What are your views on the kind of character that should be closest to the president in terms of advising him on national security?
You see, the security of a nation does not depend on the national security advisor alone. Where you have a security architecture with leadership of service chiefs, the Inspector General of Police, the DG and DSS, and all other personnel heading such agencies, they are very important. Whoever becomes the national security advisors, if you don't also get those ones right, you will still be from where we are. And let me correct this. It's not simply about discord and hostility and interagency rivalry that has been the problem in the last 8 years, and how, as a president, he can learn from the mistakes of the past and use it to guide his own government. First of all, in the last 8 years, almost over $20 billion have been spent on defense and security. And terrorists are still killing people in this country. And secondly, we have had a system where service chiefs were retained in office and their tenure was illegally extended while killings went on in the country. So, and the third aspect of it has to do with that there wasn't harmony within the security apparatus themselves. And almost everyone is competing against each other or trying to outdo each other. So how will his government do things differently will be how it learns from these mistakes and then doing it. First of all, there must be accountability in the way security funds are being spent. It's not simply about a service chief coming with a file to the president and he signs and then you go and collect money. It doesn't function that way. Secondly, each and every person who is appointed to head any agency, security, must know that his survival, the continuity and his relevance in that office is dependent on how much he has performed. That is important.
He's one person who said that he wants to crush the multiple exchange rate that we have. And you are one person who you were in the committee that oversight on issues of loans in this country. And we've seen how much of loans that we have incurred as a people in the past years. And it's going to have a lot of decision to make in the coming days. But there's one decision also that's going to be very critical, which is one thing that Governor of Enugu State, Governor Peter Mba, has asked him today about the release of Nnamdi Kanu. There are those who are from the Southeast also who are asking for unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. The governor of Enugu State has been fighting the issue of sit at home. If you were President Tinubu, what would you be doing, or what would you think that kind of request coming from Governor Mba?
Well, first of all, I'm not from the southeastern part of Nigeria. I'm from the northwestern part of Nigeria. And secondly, I am a human rights activist. And thirdly, I have been a prisoner in many prisons. I was also a victim of human rights abuses. And as a prisoner who was once jailed and who have stayed so long in prison, there is no way a person like me will support an open breach of the Constitution, an open violation of fundamental rights. A court of jurisdiction in Nigeria has given an order for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And if we are a law-abiding country, one that is committed to rule of law, and one that is being run according to the Constitution of this country, we should respect the law. But that is from the human right and the constitutional side. But from the side of national healing, here we have a president whom has started on a new footing. And one of the problems we face as a country today is the separatist agitation from the southeastern part of Nigeria. And if you go to the background of all those separatists, you will see that there was a time in their history there were people who believed in the indivisibility and unity of Nigeria. Then something must have happened along the way that changed their own vision and say now they want to vote out. If we don't want to further add fuel to fire, it's important that those segment of people in the southeastern part of Nigeria that believes in the unity of this country, we shouldn't be disappointed. A plea was made by governors of a region, and they are offering guarantee. There is no reason why the government should not accede to it. To me, President Bola Tinubu being one that has come from the trenches, even though when we are in jail, he was in exile, I believe that he should leave a footprint. One of the most important one is strengthen the unity of this country. Because we can't pretend that we don't have a problem. Marginalization and alienation of people of the southeastern part of Nigeria and their stigmatization because of the civil war is a reality. And if we have a president here who wants to do this differently, he should listen to them. If you have a few who believe that they should move out of Nigeria and many who believes in remaining within Nigeria, then we should be able to win the hearts of those who believe in secession back to those who believe in the unity of this country. And we shouldn't shy away from it. Nnamdi Kanu was also someone who was like Ken Saro-Wiwa and other ones who fought in the past. And we shouldn't say that we should simply use law and solve all problems.
All right.
Unity, consensus, consultation is very important.
I think we should anchor on the politics of the National Assembly. You've been there, you know how the leadership politics usually is. What is going on at the intervention of President Tinubu? What is your view, and how do you see this thing panning out?
Well, if you go back to 2015, one of the mistakes President Buhari made was that he never consulted the senators-elect when it comes to the issue of his candidate. He simply wanted Lawan to be made the Senate president and without due consultation. You see, as a president of the country, you have a lot of leverage. There's no way a president will invite senators-elect, many of whom are just coming for the first time, and say, this is the person I want to work with and I need your support. I want you please to support him. I mean, 99% of them will accede to it. But if you simply go into a room and decide that out of 109 people, there is one person who you believe will be loyal to you and others will not be, and there is one person who you believe in and you are also doubting the sincerity, the loyalty, and the solidarity of others, you are going to have a problem. So I've seen what has happened now. Tinubu being a former senator, and he was also part of those in 2015 when Saraki and Lawan had issues. He was also part of the cycle. So I thought that by now, the first thing he needs to do, knowing that his party has the majority, is to first of all go into a room with members of his party, talk to Uju Uzokalu, talk to Yari, talk to them and say, this is the person I want you to support. They will agree with him. But that was not done. The danger, what is happening in the National Assembly now is that there are basically two candidates, Akpabio and Yari. Akpabio is the anointed of the president, while Yari is a rebel leader. Now, I have no doubt, from now to Monday, if there is no serious consultation and appeasement and horse trading, it may go the wrong way of the president. And one thing I know very well is that if they go to the floor without, the APC goes to the floor without putting his house in order, then the 2015 scenario will enact itself, especially if there's a secret voting. If there's an open voting and the president is sitting down to watch every senator where he votes, Akpabio will win. But if it's going to be a secret ballot where nobody knows where anybody votes, certainly it's going to be Yari.